Hey guys, Mental Reach here. So a few years ago, there was a woman in my life. I'm not going to go deep into the details, so we'll name her Janelle. I met Janelle through Tinder, and things went well before we started talking and flirting for several days. And after I felt a good connection with her, I asked if she wanted to go out with me to this one museum that I enjoy going to. Yeah, I like museums, they're freaking awesome. And I even added a little humor to make it easier for her to agree, and I was pretty confident she was going to agree to come with me there too. But unlike the previous messages where she responded back in like a minute or so, she wasn't responding back at all. Like at first 10 minutes passed, then an hour, and before I knew it, an entire day had passed. So I'm like, what happened? She seemed to have liked me before, and now she wasn't responding back to my text. I began second guessing myself and what I did. I wanted to remain calm, but throughout that entire day, I just kept asking myself, what the heck did I do? What did I say to scare her off? I mean, I thought we had a connection, but I guess I was crazy. Unless someone kidnapped her and are now keeping her hostage, and in that case, then I'll totally feel like a jerk because she is dealing with bigger problems than that right now. Everyone, or nearly everyone, knows the harsh realities of dating someone in today's age, either in person, online dating, or the telephone. One minute you think you're a pretty cool fellow, and the next you're wondering why this person hasn't responded back to your text in the last 3 hours. And in the book Modern Romance, Aziz Ansari knows exactly what you're going through. In his book, he shows how it's like to stare at your screen for several hours or days in anticipation of the other person texting you back. But this book also raises the other question, which is, what is this new type of dating doing to our lives today? How have dating sites like Tinder or OkCupid changed the way of going about our dating pool? Although we live in an age where we have thousands of people we could date, the dating game has become way more difficult in finding love. We're constantly wondering if there's someone better out there waiting for us. And even though we go on dates with people we meet online, we're still swiping on the right on Tinder to make sure there isn't anyone better out there for us. But despite the many great points that Aziz make in this book, the biggest ones that he goes about are, the texting game has made things way too complicated. Unlike an actual conversation, texting takes place as something of its own language. We're constantly questioning what we should type, what emoji we should use, or how many exclamation points is required for this sentence. And when we don't hear a reply back from the other person, we assume it's because of something we said that ruined their conversation. You question yourself if you sit next to your phone, waiting for the other person to send you any type of message in regards to the funny joke you made about cows. We even give ourselves texting rules when we're speaking to someone we like. Some of those rules are not texting back immediately, texting the same length as the same person you're speaking to, or delaying a text on the time they delayed your text. It has even come to a point where younger generations are too afraid to speak on the phone unless it's for emergencies. But despite how easy it is to text someone, it's making a part of our brain weaker too. It's the part where we can start spontaneous conversations while looking over spell check, questioning if what we said was clever enough, or wondering what emoji to use. So if possible, occasionally give someone a call versus just text them, because it makes the communication process more intimate. It gives you the ability to naturally speak to someone in real life when presented with the opportunity. You can easily get mad over someone via text because you don't know their tone behind their words. Those words are whatever tone you give it inside your head. The next point he makes is the fact that we stall too much before making any moves. Let's say a guy named Jim decided to go on Tinder and he matches up with a pretty cute girl named Julie. They hit it off well, but over time, their conversations get more and more boring. They respond less and less to each other, and before he knows it, Julie's just stopped responding to him altogether. The problem people like Jim make is spending weeks, if not months, texting potential partners useless and meaningless messages that don't lead anywhere. It then reaches the point where it's no longer about trying to find love or even a relationship, and you're just using that person as a way to kill time or boredom. And this happens more often than we think. I've had plenty of moments where I met a woman online, but was too scared to ask her out. So we just text and text until we got bored of one another. Our conversations would be about nature, how I washed my clothes that day, or about freaking knitting. I don't even knit. But there comes a point usually after 14 messages or so, where you have to initiate a plan of action. Ask them out on a date and see if that person is willing to get to know you in person. After all, most people use Tinder or any online dating site as a means to find a potential partner, not a texting buddy. And I don't care what the profile says, everyone on a dating site is looking for romance in some way or another. And who knows, maybe you don't want to find a date online and prefer meeting someone in real life. Don't spend your time in a nightclub if all you want to do is find a girlfriend there. Chances are, you're not going to find Miss Perfect at 3 a.m. outside of a Waffle House. If you live a responsible life, then that means you're most likely to meet a responsible person. Don't focus on trying to go to clubs or bars if that isn't your thing. Go to museums if you like them, visit book clubs, or go to the park where you find similar people at. And one of the last major points that he makes in this book is to say we're quick to push people out of our lives. We're often looking for the best of the best because we live in an age where we can find dates practically anywhere. There's the mall, school, neighborhood, workplace, and don't even get me started on the internet. Either way, unlike 50 years ago, where most people got married because the guy had a job and wasn't a psychopath, as the woman could cook and clean, our society has now evolved into something it has never seen before in history. People could now love who they want to love and marry someone who likes the same Netflix shows as them. But this has also given birth to the notion that there's a soulmate out there waiting for us who matches all of our similar qualities and what we want in a person, kind of like pieces of a puzzle. We're then constantly worried about the fact there might be a better option out there for us when you're already seeing someone who's great for you. When someone is presented with too many options, they're less inclined to stick with one because they're continuously thinking over the fact there might be a better option for them. It's like going to an ice cream place that has 1,000 flavors to choose from. You may like strawberry ice cream, but if you see 999 other flavors to choose from, you then start to doubt yourself. Maybe you don't like strawberry, maybe you like cheese puffs and vanilla ice cream instead. And as a result, people are more open to leaving a potential relationship if they find just a tiny flaw in the person they're dating. On the first date, if someone doesn't like the fact their date likes the color purple, the band 3 Day Grace, or Naruto, they're quick to shove them out of their lives forever. We're so used to throwing people out of our lives after the first or second date that we don't even think about it anymore. We stop talking to someone because they're not entertaining us enough. But we rarely get a true love connection upon meeting anyone for the first couple times. Unless lust takes up the beginning of the relationship, most relationships starts off in a lukewarm stage. We're attracted to people by their physical qualities, followed on by their traits. But what gets us to fall in love with anybody, or at least understand who they truly are before we cut our ties from them, it takes about going on 6 to 7 dates with them. Overall, yes, we do live in an age where dating has become much easier, but love so much harder to find. But the biggest message from this book is to not judge someone when you first meet them. Don't end a relationship because someone spelled a word wrong in their text, or you had a small disagreement with them. Instead, spend more time with them by going to interesting places like a monster truck rally or a fair. The point is this: don't focus on what your options are because you can't meet every person in the world. You're always going to find something you don't like about someone. Give people a chance and invest your time in them until you know who they are. And that's Modern Romance by Aziz and Ansari. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed. If you have any book you want to see in the future, just hit a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe. Alright guys, as they say in Romance World, so long, lover.